This thing definitely works, guys. Something to think about. Hey guys, so there's a lot of videos on YouTube on sand battery heaters, and while all these concepts are great, I'm not trying to knock them. I think there's a better way to do it, and so I want to go ahead and show you my concept of a sand battery heater. I'm going to try to briefly explain to you why I think this is the way that you should go. It's much more easy, and it's much more efficient. So right now I've got this pan on the stove just for convenience sake. I'm not assuming that in a grid down environment you're going to have your stove. Now this is just for proof of concept. Okay, now what we've got here is a copper pan from what's called a chafing set. Now a chafing set has little feet that hold the pan up and a tray underneath where you can put a can of Sterno to keep the food in the pan hot for an extended period of time if you're serving guests. Well, in this case, we're turning this chafing set into a sand battery heater. I haven't seen another video on YouTube that does it this way. Maybe it exists, but there are a lot of other contraptions where, you know, they have maybe like a steel bucket, and then they have like a candle in the middle with a copper stuff on top where the flame hits the copper, radiates down into the sand, spirals around, heats the sand up, and all this and that. And well, that, you know, might work. It's in my estimation, my opinion, it's really inefficient. So there's a few key things that you got to understand about how this works. That way you can, you know, start doing this on your own, maybe more efficiently, or get your own better ideas. Now, the reason we're using the sand is because sand is very efficient at retaining heat. Not only does the sand retain heat for a very long time, you can also get the sand much hotter than most other materials. You can get the sand up to like 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and it'll retain that heat very well for an extended period of time, much longer than, say, water or something else that's easily available, right? So what you would do in a grid down environment is instead of using your electric stove, which won't be working, you would either put this inside of your fireplace to get it started, or you would put it on top of your charcoal grill, or maybe you have a camping stove that runs off of something like propane or gasoline, or even a diesel stove. You might even have a diesel stove. You can get this started that way, okay? It's not the most fuel efficient way to get it started, but it's gonna be the fastest way to get it started. I've had it on the stove here for about 15 minutes, and it's already getting too hot for me to touch. So, you know, it would probably be around the same length of time in your fireplace or on your charcoal grill or on top of your camping stove or whatever. You get it started that way, and then you transfer it to your chafing set. You put the Sterno underneath there, or maybe you have an old school chafing burner. You know, that would be the way to go, is a chafing burner instead of the Sterno, because those old school chafing burners can run off of many different fuel sources. You can run them off of denatured alcohol, which is the recommended way to do it, probably the cleanest burning. You could run them off of lamp oil. You could even run it off of diesel fuel, or even something like rubbing alcohol in a pinch, if that's all you've got. So these are very versatile off-grid heating system that will retain the heat for an extended period of time. And then once this thing gets hot enough, what you would do is put a stovetop fan on top of the sand, and that will blow the hot air into your room. Those stovetop fans are also called thermoelectric fans, for those of you who may be interested in the actual term for the fan. So we're going to go ahead and just get this started, transfer it to the chafing set once it gets hot enough, and show you what it looks like and see how well it works. All right, stand by. Guys, so I got to be a little bit quiet because my son is sleeping in the same bedroom, so please bear with me here. So as you can see, this is the sand battery based off of a chafing set. That's just a can of Sterno that's lit underneath of the chafing set. We're running it with a copper pan. I know it doesn't look like copper, but it's copper. It's just really hot right now. And this is a thermoelectric fan on top. So this is what it will look like once it's running. It is definitely radiating heat into the room, though it's not like a Mr. Buddy heater or anything. If you sit right in front of it, maybe in front of your Lazy Boy or in front of a recliner or whatever, this will definitely keep you warm. As I stand in front of this, I am really hot. So this thing definitely works, guys. Something to think about. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Share the video with your family and friends. And as always, don't forget, Help out your neighbors.